This is a hidden gem that'll flip everything you know. Within a week of release, it took the UK's highest ratings in 5 years. At least a third of the country was glued to their TVs. It's the Dark Materials trilogy, adapted from the beloved novel. The author believed the universe is made up of countless parallel worlds. These worlds share similarities, but the laws that govern them are different. In one of them, a very particular world, human souls don't hide inside the body. They take the form of a personal animal companion. These animals are called Daemons, and they live in symbiosis with humans. If one of them dies, the other cannot survive alone. A Daemon is closer than any blood brother. Our heroine Lyra lives in that very world. She was sent to Jordan College as a child by her uncle Asriel, and as one of Britain's wealthiest colleges, it gave her a carefree childhood. But one day, Asriel returned from an expedition to the Arctic. His return didn't just disturb the college, it changed Lyra's life. Since she hadn't seen her uncle in years, Lyra rushed to find him. But she caught the master secretly poisoning the wine he'd prepared for Asriel.
Master's a good man. He's always been kind to us. He's poisoning my Uncle Pan.
Even if the master was good, Lyra would never stand for him poisoning her uncle. Just as Asriel lifted the poisoned glass to drink it down, Lyra rushed forward, knocked it from his hand, and told him what the master had done. Surprisingly, Asriel showed no shock or anger when he learned the truth. Instead, he smashed the bottle himself, pretending nothing had happened. This detail says a lot. Asriel had known all along. What he was about to announce could bring catastrophe to Jordan College. To protect the young Lyra, Asriel hid her inside a chest. Once she was settled, he called every scholar in the college to a secret meeting. At the meeting, he showed a photograph he had taken in the Arctic. The first showed an adult holding a child. A strange glow surrounded the adult. Asriel told them gravely that this glow was dust, the most mysterious substance in the universe. The scholars were stunned. From the photo, the dust was slowly consuming the adult, but the child beside them was completely unharmed. If the first photo upended everything, the second was a bombshell big enough to overturn the world's order. In the brilliant aurora, a city appeared out of nowhere. The scene threw the scholars from shock into absolute panic. You see, every order in this world is controlled by the magisterium. The magisterium has long proclaimed, the human world is the only one in the universe. The parallel worlds Asriel discovered are, in the magisterium's eyes, heresy. If the news gets out, the whole college will face catastrophe. Watching the scholars panic, Asriel calmly laid out his true purpose. He wanted the college to keep funding him, to dig into dust and the parallel worlds. To defend academic freedom and explore new worlds, the college took the risk and agreed. With the funding secured, Asriel was eager to set off at once. Lyra longed to see beyond and go with her uncle. But Asriel flatly refused her. It wasn't that he didn't care. His research had crossed the magisterium's red line and could get them all killed. He couldn't drag Lyra into it. Young Lyra couldn't understand this unspoken protection. Just then, the master found Lyra. He believed Asriel's research was bound to anger the magisterium, and they might well use Lyra as a hostage to threaten Asriel. After much thought, he decided to entrust Lyra to a woman named Coulter. She held high authority in the magisterium and could keep Lyra safe. At the same time, the master gave Lyra an Alethiometer. The artifact was rare, only 6 existed, able to reveal all truth. Lyra didn't understand why such a precious object would be entrusted to her. The master didn't explain, just told her to take care of herself and the Alethiometer. Before she left, Lyra wanted to say goodbye to her good friend Roger, but she searched the whole college and couldn't find him anywhere. Deeply disappointed, Lyra boarded the airship with Coulter, headed for London. She had no idea that Coulter's daemon was actually hostile toward her. Soon, Lyra arrived in London with Coulter. Seeing the big, soft bed, Lyra was over the moon. She even promised herself, find Roger and bring him here to enjoy it all. Little did she know, her dear friend Roger had already been kidnapped by an organization called the Gobblers. The organization specialized in abducting children from all over. Behind it all seemed to hide a secret. Roger was brought to a hidden base where a large group of Gyptian children were being held, all of them kidnapped by the Gobblers. Among them was Roger's good friend Billy. Just as the 2 poor kids were hugging each other, Lyra was in London enjoying a feast, lavishly cared for by Coulter. So caught up, she almost forgot why. But Lyra noticed something off. Coulter's need to control was off the charts. She was trying to force change Lyra's natural personality and habits, forcing her into fine dresses and rigid lessons in elegant manners. This life that went against her free spirit made restless Lyra deeply uncomfortable. On top of that, she kept probing about dust. Lyra, simple and trusting, let slip what Asriel had discovered.
Who did you learn this from?
The moment she realized, Lyra covered it up, claimed she'd only heard rumors. Under what seemed like gentle probing, Coulter had already read Lyra like a book. That night, Lyra heard strange sounds through the bedroom vent. These strange signs made her unease grow stronger by the minute. Lyra opened the door, only to find Coulter's Daemon standing guard, 50 feet from Coulter herself. In this world, a Daemon and its human are bound in symbiosis and must stay within 30 feet. If they stray too far, the Daemon simply withers away.
How are you able to be so far away from your Daemon? It's too painful.
I'm not.
It's not natural. He was in the study. You were down the hallway.
You're mistaken. He was with me the entire time. I was sleepy.
Lyra was sure her eyes hadn't deceived her. Coulter must be hiding some earth-shattering secret. The peaceful illusion was soon shattered. One day, 2 magisterium men arrived. The priest leading them went straight to the study. He immediately scolded Coulter for acting too high-profile lately. If she kept this up, the consistorial court would act. Before the words had finished echoing, Coulter heard a sound at the door. She opened the door to find curious Lyra eavesdropping outside. Coulter, furious, sent Lyra straight back to her room. After seeing the priest off, Coulter scolded Lyra harshly. What she'd done had cost her face with the priest, and she wanted Lyra to behave. But Lyra, nursing a grudge, talked back. That attitude drove Coulter over the edge. She immediately ordered her daemon to act. A daemon is the physical form of a human soul. Any harm transfers to the human. Lyra's daemon was pinned, and so was she.
You can't treat me like this. My uncle won't let you.
When has that man ever done anything for you?
He's done everything.
He's done nothing! He's a failure of a man and a failure of father!
The moment she said it, Coulter realized she'd let something slip.
He's my father.
Lyra's whole sense of family shattered. She never imagined she'd been living a lie from birth. She thought of the Alethiometer the master had given her, hoping its mysterious power might reveal the truth. But when she asked the question, the Alethiometer gave no answer. Frustrated, Lyra hurled the Alethiometer aside, but curled up in the corner, crying quietly. She didn't notice the Alethiometer had begun to turn on its own. To uncover the secret of those years, Lyra waited until Coulter stepped out, then crawled through the vent into the study. But instead of the secret she was looking for, she found a complete set of design plans. The plans detail an experiment to forcibly sever humans from their daemons. Just as the realization hit her, the lookout daemon gave a warning. Coulter was back early. Lyra quickly put the study back in order and crawled back out through the vent. By the time Coulter came, Lyra was back in her room. Seeing Lyra so well behaved, Coulter was deeply satisfied. Only after she left did Lyra finally breathe easy. After this close call, Lyra's resolve to escape only grew stronger. Soon, a perfect opportunity presented itself. That day, Coulter hosted a party with Lyra as the server. As Lyra looked for a way to slip away, a woman claiming to be a journalist pulled her aside. She revealed a cruel truth to Lyra. In her investigation, Coulter was actually the head of the Gobblers organization. All the recent child disappearances everywhere were orchestrated by Coulter herself. The reporter wanted Lyra's help in secretly gathering evidence. Little did they know, Coulter had watched their whispered conversation from start to finish. So she made it an excuse to send Lyra away, then had Bolvanger take the reporter. Bolvanger seized the reporter's butterfly daemon in one hand. Before the reporter's horrified eyes, his palm clenched and crushed the butterfly. And with that, the reporter was done for. Lyra, who had watched it all unfold, felt her last shred of hope vanish. She didn't dare hesitate a moment longer. She bolted from the scene, officially starting her flight. But just after escaping Coulter's clutches, Lyra ran straight into more gobblers. Caught off guard, she was bound and thrown into a car. Just as Lyra lost hope, the car was attacked. A masked figure rushed out and gave the 2 gobblers a thorough beating. When the masked figure opened the door, Lyra saw it was her friend Tony. Tony then took Lyra to the Gyptian camp. Little did she know that her coming would bring disaster upon these kind people. Recently, Gyptian children had been disappearing one after another. In days, 27 children had been taken by the Gobblers. They had followed the trail all the way to London, but they were a step too late. The children had already been moved. Tony's younger brother Billy was one of the missing children. While out looking for clues, he happened to spot that suspicious vehicle. By sheer luck, he ended up saving Lyra. When he learned Roger had also been taken by the Gobblers, it gave them both a single shared goal. The Gyptian leader John was willing to shelter her, and so Lyra settled into the camp. Meanwhile, Coulter arrived at Jordan College with a group, in a fury, convinced the college was hiding Lyra. She'd seal off the college for harboring heresy. The master, cowed by Coulter, admitted Lyra hadn't returned to the college. But he also revealed that the Alethiometer had been given to Lyra. Coulter was stunned to hear it.
Tell me where she is, or I will destroy all of this.
I kept her safe in this college for 12 years. I gave her to you to look after, and you lost her. You've already done the worst you can possibly do.
Humiliated and enraged, Coulter immediately ordered a wider search. She had to find Lyra. Lyra's few quiet days at the camp were cut short when magisterium searchers came knocking. Their purpose was clear. They were there to search for Lyra. Even though Macosta firmly said she hadn't seen her, the searchers forced their way onto the boat and combed the entire camp. Luckily, Lyra had already been hidden away by the others. The searchers found nothing and had no choice but to leave empty-handed. Once the storm had passed, Lyra prepared to leave. She couldn't understand why Coulter was chasing her so relentlessly. Seeing Lyra helpless, Macosta finally revealed the secret she'd kept for years.
Is your mother, Lyra? That's what no one is telling you. She's your mom.
From Macosta, Lyra learned Coulter and Asriel had been in love, a love Coulter's husband refused. After Lyra was born, Asriel secretly took her away and entrusted her to Macosta for a time. That was why Coulter was willing to give everything to find Lyra. The truth hit Lyra like a sledgehammer. The woman she'd seen as cunning as a fox was actually her birth mother. The blow of this truth was just too much for her. That night, John called a meeting. Everyone was furious. The magisterium refused to investigate the Gobblers' crimes. Instead, it was wasting manpower going after innocent people. Utterly disappointed, John decided the Gyptians would investigate the Gobblers themselves and bring the missing children home. Lyra offered up a key piece of information. She'd seen the plans for the Arctic research station in Coulter's study. The children had most likely been taken to the Arctic. But the Arctic was vast. Without coordinates, finding them would be near impossible. But no matter how hard the road had, the Gyptians pushed on for their children. John's words won the support of everyone there. When night fell, Tony and John's son Benjamin decided to take the risk and go to Coulter's apartment to steal the complete plans. Seeing Tony determined, Lyra told him exactly where the plans were. They crept into Coulter's apartment without a sound. But just as they searched, a golden monkey hiding in the shadows spotted them. Tony got scared and ran for it, slipping out through a window. The slower Benjamin was shot down by Coulter, who had just arrived. Benjamin tried to fight back, but his Daemon was pinned to the ground. Coulter wanted to force out who had sent him.
I betrayed my family for no one.
Back at the camp, Lyra was getting worried. Tony and the other hadn't returned. Her unease only grew. She took out the Alethiometer to read the men's fate. But strangely, the Alethiometer spun on its own, out of her control. It finally came to rest, pointing at the skull, the symbol of death. Lyra understood instantly. Something had happened to Tony and the other. She told Father Coram what the Alethiometer had shown. But just then, Tony came stumbling back, looking a wreck, and he brought a list of the missing children with him. Billy and Roger were both on it. When the others asked about Benjamin, Tony fell silent. And in that silence, everyone understood. Benjamin wasn't coming back. Grieving for his son, John was heartbroken. But 27 children were still waiting to be rescued. So the group steadied themselves and set off for the Arctic. They reached the Arctic frontier town, home of the Witch's consul. He was the bridge between the witch world and the human world. He had no interest in getting involved in anyone's fight. But the moment Lyra showed him the Alethiometer and said she could activate it, the consul's whole attitude changed. He immediately handed Lyra a witch's cloud pine branch. He told her solemnly, "In danger, snap the branch, and the witches would come." As the group was about to leave, the consul could see that Lyra's party was outmatched. Plenty of courage, but no way to take on the magisterium. He advised Lyra to recruit an armored bear. Proud armored bears don't normally take orders from humans, but there was one exception, a bear called Iorek. He'd been exiled by the clan leader for killing a companion. Win his heart, and he might join you. Following the consul, Father Coram and Leah found the armored bear working in town. The moment they explained, Iorek turned them down flat. He was living comfortably in town, no intention of joining anyone's war. Meanwhile, Lee Scoresby was also looking for the armored bear. His mouth was too loose. He offended everyone in the saloon and got thrown out. It was painfully awkward. With nowhere to turn, Lee asked around openly for the armored bear. And he happened to bump into Lyra, who was coming back empty-handed. Lyra tried to get Lee to tell her why the armored bear stayed in town, both trying to recruit Iorek. Lee wasn't about to share. Night fell. Father Coram and John were on patrol when they spotted a hawk diving toward them at high speed. Father Coram recognized it. Seraphinus Daemon proved that witches can send their daemons far. The daemon landed before them and delivered critical intelligence. All the captured children had been moved to the Arctic Research Station. 4 days east would bring them to the children's prison. And if needed, the witches would come to their aid. With the witches' promise, the group finally had some peace of mind. But the very next day, terrible news arrived. John got word. Lyra's birth father Asriel had been captured by the armored bears. The news threw everyone's plans into complete disarray. Lyra realized that to take on the magisterium, Iorek's strength was indispensable. So she swallowed her pride and went to find Lee. Touched by Lyra's shamelessness in helping herself to his breakfast, Lee let slip the real reason Iorek wouldn't leave the town. It turned out the magisterium had taken Iorek's armor and hidden it somewhere in town. An armored bear's armor is their daemon. Without it, Iorek wouldn't leave the town, not for anything. Now knowing the truth, Lyra went straight to Iorek. She showed him the Alethiometer, and as a prince of the armored bears, he knew at once this girl was no ordinary child.
I will come with you, but I have a right to take vengeance. If they try to stop me taking my armor, they die.
That seems fair.
Then, using the Alethiometer's power, Lyra found out that Iorek's armor was hidden in the church's basement. Once he knew the location, Iorek couldn't wait. He charged out, smashing through the iron door. He tore straight into the church. But the very next second, a priest came hurtling out from the second floor. Moments later, Iorek walked slowly out of the church, already wearing his heavy armor. The aura of a born warrior exploded from him. The guards panicked and started firing. But ordinary bullets couldn't even scratch Iorek's defenses. Not much damage, but plenty of insult. And that pushed Iorek over the edge. In no time at all, he'd wiped out every lost guard. The captain was pinned to the ground, tossed like a rag doll as Iorek toyed with him. Just as Iorek was about to kill the captain, Lyra suddenly called out to stop him. Sure, the captain was small fry. Killing him would bring the magisterium down. Lee rushed up right behind her, talking Iorek down. He kept soothing Iorek's fury. After weighing it over and over, reluctantly Iorek let the captain live. And so Lee and the armored bear, back at full strength, joined the team, ready to rescue the captured children alongside Lyra. Lyra and a band of Gyptian families reached the Arctic. John had her use the Alethiometer to scout out the Arctic station's defenses. But the results made everyone's heart sink. Over 100 armed guards patrolled the station. Just then, the Alethiometer suddenly began spinning on its own, and images started flooding into Lyra's mind. The image was of a strange, eerie village. The Alethiometer seemed to be trying to tell her something crucial. Lyra felt she had to go to that village. She went to Father Coram and asked him to come with her to investigate. But Father Coram thought it was just a hallucination and not worth the risk. Seeing Father Coram wouldn't help, Lyra turned to Macosta. Macosta tried to talk her out of trusting the vision. It could be a road to ruin. The two people she trusted most dismissed her instincts, and Lyra was crushed. By the time night fell, the witch's daemon found Lyra. He told her the Alethiometer's vision was no hallucination and encouraged her to go check it out. With the daemons' support, Lyra found her courage again. At the break of dawn, Lyra went straight to Iorek, asking him to come with her to the village. Iorek didn't hesitate for a second. He took off his armor on the spot. Without it, he looked just like a slightly larger polar bear. The perfect disguise, so they could slip past the guards. And so the girl and the bear set off for the eerie village. He hunted for himself, and Lyra curled up against him for warmth. After a short rest, they reached the village edge. The eerie atmosphere was enough to make your scalp crawl.
You're not scared, are you?
Not yet, but when I am, I shall master the fear.
There is worse to come then.
The two of them steeled themselves and headed into the village. Iorek's animal instincts were the first to sense that something was very wrong. A village that should have been alive was dead silent. He couldn't catch even a trace of a living soul. Soon they came to the only house with a light on, and this was exactly the place Lyra had seen in her vision. She told Iorek to keep watch outside, then walked slowly toward the wooden cabin on her own. The closer she got, the more her daemon shrank back, terrified by the dark, suffocating air. Lyra forced down her fear and slowly pushed the door open. Summoning every bit of courage, she stepped inside. The moment she saw what was inside, Lyra froze. There on the floor was Billy, on the brink of death. But what shocked her more, his daemon was nowhere to be seen. In this world, if a demon dies, its human cannot survive. Something was very wrong with Billy. Iorek carried them, racing back to camp. In a world where humans and daemons are bound together, a daemon is the very embodiment of a person's soul. Without a daemon, even if Billy had somehow survived, he was nothing but a walking shell of a person. Macosta tried everything to bring him back. Nothing worked. He didn't make it through that cold night. Grieving, the Gyptians held a funeral pyre for Billy, as was their tradition. Fury lit up every Gyptian heart. They swore they'd make the killers pay in blood. But no one expected that before the Gyptians could strike, the Gobblers would come to them first. One of the clan got up to step outside. He was ambushed without warning. His neck snapped on the spot. The dull thud of his body hitting the ground woke Lyra instantly. She rushed out of her tent to check and saw the body lying on the ground right away. She was about to warn them when a shadowy figure knocked her out cold. When Lyra came to, she was already at the Arctic Research Station. She was taken to the hall where the Gobblers' children were held. Just as she expected, she found her long-missing friend Roger there. But with guards watching, the two shared a look and silently agreed not to acknowledge each other in front of everyone. Then, a few staff members pushed through the door. They called out a girl's name at random and gestured for her to follow. The girl seemed to understand exactly what was coming for her. Her whole body shook uncontrollably. She was quickly pushed into a sealed room. The iron door slammed shut with a clang. After that little girl was never seen again, and danger crept into Lyra's heart, with the same tragic fate as that little girl. Lyra threw a handful of snow at a kid. The wound-tied children suddenly lit up. They thought it was a game and joined in. Their laughter and rough housing threw the whole place into chaos, and Lyra and Roger slipped out in the confusion. The facility's inside was a maze of twisting corridors. By accident, they stumbled into a room stacked full of crates. Curiosity pulled them forward, and what they saw inside left them both stunned. The crates were crammed with daemons ripped from their humans. But the next sight was worse. Following the corridor further, in another room they came across the children whose daemons had been cut away from them, just like Billy empty hollow shells of people. Now that they knew the station's true horror, Lyra and Roger crept back the way they'd come, and slipped back into the crowd of children in the yard. Lyra knew just the two of them could never escape this heavily guarded facility on their own. To escape, they had to rally the children and rise up. So Lyra started talking the other kids into joining her. She already had a complete plan. When the right moment came, she would quietly set off the alarm, create chaos, and give the children a chance to run. But the plan didn't get a chance to go into action. The station's head called Lyra's name, ordering her to the lab at once. In that instant, Lyra understood what had happened to the little girl was finally happening to her. Pure survival instinct made Lyra spin around to run. Staff seized her daemon. She froze. She was then forced into the cutting machine. Lyra kept begging, pleading with the man in charge to spare her. But the man had no mercy and started up the machine. The heavy blade rose slowly and hung there over Lyra's head. At that critical moment, Coulter walked into the lab. Out of the abyss, Lyra grabbed onto Coulter as her one last lifeline. And so Lyra was saved. As for how Lyra had ended up here, Coulter didn't much care. As long as she was around, no harm would ever come to Lyra. Then Coulter told Lyra the truth behind the Severance experiment. There were some in the Magisterium who deeply resented the Daemons' constant companionship. They believed the Daemon was watching their every move, every second a day. Even during their most private moments, the Daemon was right there watching. Over time, the Daemon's presence had become an unbearable psychological burden. To break free of that bond, a group of fanatics had secretly launched the Severance experiment. With the truth laid bare, Coulter demanded that Lyra hand over the Alethiometer for safekeeping. Lyra obediently handed her an iron box. The instant Coulter opened the box, a flying insect burst out and slammed into her. Seizing the moment, Lyra bolted from the room. She grabbed a fire extinguisher off the wall, smashed the door's lock, and trapped Coulter inside. And with that done, Lyra kicked the station's alarm into life. The alarm started blaring, and Lyra found Roger first thing. "Take the Daemonless kids, get them out," she told him. Then she turned back to destroy the machine that had ruined so many children. Lyra went straight to the control panel and slammed every button. The mixed-up commands sent the machine out of control. A massive energy surge triggered violent shaking, like a level 18 earthquake. And just like that, the cursed machine was finished for good. Meanwhile, the children who had already fled ran straight into a guard blockade. Just as all hope seemed lost, the Gyptians finally burst onto the scene.
Tell me, do you remember Billy Costa?
It wasn't my fault. I was just obeying orders.
He was only a boy! We've come to rescue you.
A swarm of Gyptians stormed the research base, and a full-scale battle broke out with the guards. The guards had the numbers. The Gyptians were losing ground. Just then, the witch, Seraphina, arrived just in time. With Seraphina's help, the Gyptians quickly turned the tide and won. Every single child who had been taken was rescued. Coulter, watching from the shadows, saw the writing on the wall and slipped away. Once the danger had fully passed, Lyra said a heartfelt goodbye to the Gyptians. She was heading for the Armored Bear's territory to rescue Asriel. After saying her farewells, the group boarded Lee's hot air balloon and set off on yet another unknown adventure. But no one could have predicted that deadly danger lay hidden in the road ahead. Just as the balloon was about to reach its destination, they were suddenly attacked by cliff-dwelling spectres. Lyra lost her footing and tumbled from the balloon.